A Redmond man is following his call to action by leaving his family and his job to help Ukrainians at refugee camps in Poland. Bola Badibo has more.
He is one of the most dynamic, incredible men I've ever known.
Robert Flanagan lives in Redmond and is a play director, Army veteran, and hairstylist at Roots Salon in Bend. He's also a man who wants to make a difference. Flanagan made a spur-of-the-moment decision to fly to Poland and offer aid to Ukrainians at refugee camps. Megan Flanagan, his wife, was thrown off guard by the decision.
I was actually in my office at work, and he called me a few days after the war erupted, and it was after President Zelensky made the comment in response to how he wanted to be evacuated, and he said, "I don't need a ride, I need ammo." Rob called me. I was in my office, and he said, "What would you think if I went over there?" I shut the door in my office. I had panic wash all over me, and I said, "Are you joking? Are you kidding? Your life is here. Our life is here."
After realizing that he felt called to make such a drastic move, Megan had a change of heart, understanding that it was something he had to do. But it doesn't make things easier.
I'm worried for his life. You know, we also have our family and our livelihood to think about, because as long as he's gone, we're operating on one income, and it can be a little threatening and scary.
But she and their 16 and 18-year-old children stand firm in their support of Rob's mission to help others from a place of love, light, and healing.
I volunteered for the International Legion for the defense of the Ukraine, and some really cool people talked me down from that. They said, if you go over there with violence, you won't come back.
What's making you emotional right now?
It's a very interesting dichotomy in my emotions. It's an interesting mix of immense pride and fear.
In a text exchange, Rob said, and I quote, "I need to go help, not fight."
That was Bola Badibo reporting. You can find more information about how to support the Flanagan family in the web version of this story, ktvz.com.